Building a garden bed that holds nutrients and water for a long time can give your plants a boost throughout the growing season. Let's walk through the steps to create this bed together, and you'll have a space that keeps your plants well fed and hydrated even during the hot summer months. First, we're going to dig out the area where you want to place your garden bed. You want to dig down about 3 to 4 inches deep, but this depends on the material you're going to use under the bed. If you have large logs, you might want to dig a bit deeper to make space for them. Once you've dug out the bed, the next step is to lay down cardboard. This is a key part of stopping any weeds from growing up through your garden bed from underneath. Just make sure the cardboard is placed neatly, overlapping any gaps, so there's no chance for weeds to find their way up. Now comes the exciting part, adding your natural materials. Start with a thick layer of twigs, branches, and whatever else you can harvest from your garden. These small bits will break down slowly, feeding your soil over time. If you have larger logs, you can use those too. Even kitchen waste like vegetable scraps can be added here, as long as it's not cooked or greasy. This layer is all about providing long-term nourishment, so the more natural matter you can pile in, the better. Once you've got that layer in place, sprinkle some bone meal over it. Bone meal is rich in phosphorus, which will help your plants grow strong roots. You don't need to use too much, just enough to cover the area lightly. After that, we'll move on to the next layer, the soil. Now, if your soil isn't great, don't worry, because this is where you can make improvements. You want to add a thick layer of loamy soil, which is rich, crumbly, and holds moisture well. If your garden soil isn't up to par, you can bring in some good quality topsoil from elsewhere. Spread this layer evenly over the materials below it, smoothing it out so that it's level. With the soil in place, we're going to top it all off with a layer of fully decomposed manure or compost. This is where the nutrients will come from that will feed your plants in the short term. Compost and manure are rich in all the essential nutrients plants need to thrive. So don't skip this step. Spread it evenly, just like you did with the soil, and make sure the layer is thick enough to nourish your future plants. Once that's done, there's one final step to make sure your bed is packed with even more nutrients. Sprinkle some neem cake powder and bone meal over the top layer. Neem cake is excellent for keeping pests away while enriching the soil, and combined with the bone meal, it ensures that your garden bed is ready to support strong, healthy plant growth. Now that everything is in place, it's important to let the bed rest. Ideally, you want to let it sit for at least 6 to 8 weeks, so starting this process in the early winter is perfect. This gives the materials in your bed time to break down and settle, creating a nutrient-rich environment for your plants by the time the growing season starts. Letting it rest also allows the microorganisms in the soil to get to work, breaking down the organic matter and turning it into food for your plants. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe